What's up, everyone? Back at it again, Day Trader Mo. So before I start, I came across this tweet, and I think it's really important to remember why we're trading. I think this was a good statement. Trading, it's not just to quit from your job, just to make a bunch of money, do nothing. I have my own personal goals, and I'm sure you guys have your own personal goals. And my goals require some capital and consistent income that's not going to be driven by my job. But my why is always going to be stronger than my how, and it's why I'm here today. So just hopefully you guys can take this, into why you guys are trading and just keep pushing forward. So today, how did we do? We did actually amazing. I'm going to be grateful. Peaked at 429. I did give back about 25% of profits, and I was like, all right, I'm done. Today I thought today was a day where we could push the gas a little bit, and I'm like, wait, today is not a today seemed like a bloody day. And it sort of supported that, but there was just some fuckery that went on. I'm trying to pull up the news that happened. Anyways, we traded IWM first. So IWM, this candle wick, just crazy. We'll talk about it later. These are all my entries on the yellow. So on the yellow, so I noticed immediately the first 5 minute candle went by. I actually got in at 6:42. At 6:42 in the morning. So I waited about 15 minutes, waited for this rejection. This rejection happened at the 200 EMA on the 1 minute chart, and that's what I was using for resistance. We had been selling off. We've been red on the MACD, the 4 hour chart. Let's look at the IWM 4 hour chart. It was red. It should still be red, and I was like, okay, the bigger time frames are supporting a weakness, a further downtrend. However, we still have some support areas to look at, and I'll talk about those briefly. So we got in 249 puts. I was like, okay, rejected on 250. We didn't go there. We do have a small gap to close. So if we look at on the daily chart, which look a little messy, look at the daily chart. We have this gap to potentially close tomorrow. We're still heading towards the 200 moving average. Let me remove this. So we could dip towards the 200 moving average potentially tomorrow or next week. Who knows? But we still have this gap to fill. And I was like, okay, it could fill up to 250, but it did not. It failed and rejected. So I went with puts and I scalped it. Every time I've scalped, it's worked better than just buying at a starter position. However, even though I scalped it, my position, I still felt like I was too impatient. There were better opportunities to get in. So I kept entering on a dip here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You know, as it started going up, I'm like, no, I still see a rejection at the 200 moving average. We had a double top here, and I think this is the confirmation I should be looking for. If I see this, MACD is going down, it breaks through the VWAP and 9 EMA, that should be a better entry for a dip instead of this area right here. So, I mean, I scalped it pretty much from 648 all the way up to 705.
On SYK, talk of some.
So pretty much from the bottom of this candle, I scalped it all the way up, and I held through it. So what was that the right decision? And sometimes you might never know. You might ask yourself, getting in at the top here would have been better than scalping on the way up, looking for rejection. However, I was looking for a double top, and it did happen. And that 200 moving average on the 1 minute really supported it. And then we instantly started breaking down. We started going down further and further and further. And then I took my profit at 732. So at 732 on this candle, I was chasing for 247. Why 247? We'll go on the 1 hour chart. So on the 1 hour chart, this is what I was looking at. We have a bottom from Tuesday. Remember Tuesday when I got in at this entry? Yeah, let's see. Wednesday, Tuesday, no, Monday. Monday we had a low. Monday we had a low at 247.63. And I'm like, okay, we're looking for this area. This is double bottom. It's close to it. Looking for that area of support. If it breaks through 247, I don't see any other area of support other than 240, 231, 244.33. I don't know how this happened. Anyways, that's the area I was looking at, and we actually bounced up to that level, 247.50 initially. So we bottomed out here first, and then I was looking for a retest on the way down. Today's sentiment really was, puts mainly. So I'm gonna transition over to the news headlines because the news headlines, the market was reacting to all the comments. So let's see, we'll go here. As soon as things went down at 7:15, I'll show you right now. 7:15, we have this comment about oil from Donald Trump. Then 5 minutes later, the leader of Iran, new leader of Iran, started saying that they're going to take compensation from the enemy. They're gonna not refrain from avenging blood from its martyrs. This is all bad. This is still continuing. The negative sentiment. Oil is gonna keep going up. Other fronts will be activated. Other stuff is going on. At 9, 10. Then let's see. Actually, no. This is the area I was looking at right here. Sorry, I'm trying to always transition back to my time and the Eastern Standard Time. 7:15 here. Commander of Iran. In response to the Supreme Leader, we will deliver the most severe blows to the aggressor of the enemy by maintaining the Hormuz closed. So at 7:15, as soon as that came out, this was when we had that drop, and I was like, okay, that settled it. 7:15, boom, news came out, and we started dropping. We broke through that level initially that I was looking at on the 5 minute. I noticed, okay, we've been waking off this level for some time. We were wicking off the level, but we never really closed. And I'm like, okay, we get a candle closure, which is what we had over here under that level. That honestly will support a further move down, and it did. And I got out close to the bottom. It went down further. However, you see this candle, crazy. What happened at that time frame? 7:45. So we're gonna come back up here, and I was out by then. However, I took actually another position. I'm like, nope, this doesn't keep breaking. I took another position at 247 puts. Why? Because I was trying to target this area right here, and I was like, this is, and I only took one contract. This one, I only took one contract. If I'm going to take another position, it's going to be a light contract, not heavy contract, because that could potentially waste all my gains. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go in heavy. 247, looking for a further breakdown all the way to 244. I was really looking for a really nasty day today. However, at 7:46, look what happens. At 7:46, Trump administration set to suspend Jones Act to tame oil price. So that took the markets by like an insane amount. We went from 247 all the way up to almost 249 and rejected all the way down. This was nasty, and I actually got out for a loss. And then to see it go back down, I was like, what the fuck? But I did get in. That was my first put. I actually tried to trade QQQ. QQQ, I was like, okay, I like how it moves because one, it moves pretty. There's a lot of good swings. We have a high of 608, all these to 597. That's a $10 move. You can make so much money off those levels if you get in the very top. So QQQ, where did I get in? And then I held through that move because I saw it reverse down. I immediately sold my IWM. Then I was waiting on the QQQ, and I was like, hold on. Because as soon as I saw it reject down, I was just like, all right, that's not good. So honestly, on the QQQ, I was really chasing a level. Let's see, 1033. Yep, I got it right here. This is my area of entry. It was still going down. Could I have waited for another entry? Yes. I was trying to take advantage. Same area as well. Look at the 1 hour. We have another low to chase right here. The low of this from Monday, or from this candle, right here at 599.92, and then another low which we already booked through the 599, and it was going down fast. Then I was looking at 597.66, and I was like, okay, that's another bottoming candle, so I'm looking to target that level, and it just kept holding that support. But to be fair, I mean, a lot of these indexes were already selling off since like 4 a.m. So it peaked up here. Let's see. Let's look at the IWM. IWM was also selling off, at 4 as well, or since overnight actually. Since overnight started, or since yesterday, we've been selling off. Also, the confidence of what this gave me, why it gave me confidence to take puts. We had already failed down, rejected, bounced back up, and this topping tail just wasn't supportive of further move up. This was pretty nasty. It's not a good wick, and we kept going down further. So on QQQ, where did I get out? So I held through all this mess, which was I don't blame anyone. If anyone stopped out from this, I don't blame anyone. I was getting ready to stop out too. I would have given back at least another $50 from the QQQ loss that I took. And I did get some profit. It was about $12, or I was on unrealized profit around this area. But then as soon as it started to go back up, I sold, took my exit, and then you see it's going up higher. So I was like, okay, I don't think it's happening today. I don't think the market is going to be as bloody as I thought it would have been. But hey, we netted 311. We lost 53. I would have been, I almost lost another $53. So This they could have given him back a little more, but I thought about it. I'm like, okay, this is potentially a good day to out of my comfort zone a little bit, just by a little bit, because I won't know how much I'll peak at until I slowly start pushing that comfort zone. Obviously, with ease, not with just fuck it, I'm gonna take this position. No, I'm gonna look at it and I'm like, okay, let's. I mean, the QQQ, I'm a hypocrite for saying that. For QQQ, I kind of just jumped in because really I thought things were just gonna start going crazy. These days, at least this past week, I've noticed that this at least it's come back to the EMAs. You see, we've dumped, we've come back to the EMA, maybe VWAP, and then dump again. Some days on these puts, it's just been non-stop, just drop, drop, drop. So it's gonna be hard. And I'm just always asking myself, is this really gonna come back up, or is this just gonna keep selling off? Will I get an entry? And the answer is, I think you're always, most of the time, going to get an entry. So I'll leave it at that today. 311. We're green on the week. I'll take it. We're green on the week. We're slowly pushing our, I guess, average winners a little bit higher, and that's okay. And I like that. So we'll see what tomorrow leads us. I did take a volunteer call for tomorrow. Why? I like the setup. This is a really good pullback setup. So we already peaked up. So since the war, Palantir is also defense stock. War started on February 28th, I believe, or 27th. I forgot which day. We started going up above our EMAs. We're above the 50 EMA. We crossed above the 200 EMA, and this is on a 4-hour chart. We peaked about from this move 160. We're pulling back to the EMAs. Now it's starting to respect the EMAs. Fridays are typically sometimes a good day for breakouts. So we could go up to 160 potentially. Since Palantir is a defense stock, Friday could be a good rally. All the indexes could bring up Palantir. Price target, I mean, I'm looking at the daily. Let's see. The daily chart, I mean, I would suggest rejecting at 161 from the last few days. If it goes up higher to 164, 165, I'll take it. We will see what happens. And I'm riding off this momentum. Again, I'm going to try to see if the strategy will work. Oil stocks were going up a lot, and that is something I probably should have taken a position on. Because look at Chevron. Chevron's been going up like crazy. It's been going up since January started. So tensions obviously started, has not fallen back on the 200 moving average. It has come back to the 50, dipped, and then ripped up all the way up to 200. Like these are insane. 186 to 198. Like oil stocks are just doing so good. I think mobile too is XOM. Mm. And this is what I mean. Like taking advantage of the opportunities of the situation. Oil's going up, so do the gas companies go up. So yeah, see, we've been going up on these gas companies for so long. So good luck. Hopefully you guys made some money today. It's been hard. This week, guys, has not been easy. This week has been testing my, I guess, level of hold, trusting the strategy, trusting that nope, we're gonna reject. We have these rejections. We have 200 moving average against us. We have the VWAP, and I'm looking at all these indexes happening in real time. You know, QQSPY, they were moving similar. IWM did not. You can see how IWM, you can see how the SPY and QQQ just almost similar. IWM, not so much. So just I'm being cautious that they're not going to be one to one, but similar move. I mean, we had this big move up, and QQQ, same thing. Same move up. Same thing on SPY. So, yeah. Take care, guys. Have a good rest of your day. And let's end the week strong tomorrow. We got this. Good luck. Remember, know your why on your trading, and if you're wise, will overcome all your house. All right? Take care.